So in this video, in my earlier video on cell, I have described the structure of plasma membrane, cell wall, and what are the different types of movement taking place across those membrane. Now every cell, it has, just like our body has a brain which controls all our function, same way how a cell will function, what are the different functions the cell will do, that is determined, or the information is stored inside a spherical structure which is called nucleus. So in this video I will be discussing about the structure of nucleus. Now there is a typical plant cell, there is a typical animal cell. So if you can see in the diagram, in any typical plant cell, the nucleus is generally located towards the corner because most of the space is occupied by the vacuole. But in case of animal cell, vacuoles are either missing or they are very small, so the nucleus occupies a central location. Whatsoever, a typical nucleus has got a double membrane covering. These two, this is called the nuclear membrane. So the composition of the membrane is same as that of plasma membrane. It is made up of two layers of lipid and there are proteins. So that is nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane has got fine pores which are called the nuclear pores. Through the nuclear pores, the nucleus communicates with the rest of the cell. Then inside the nucleus, there is a fluidic medium. Just like the cell has a fluidic medium called cytoplasm, the nucleus has a fluidic medium which is called nucleoplasm. Then inside the nucleus you will find another spherical structure which is called the nucleolus. And another feature in the nucleus is a network of coiled fiber-like structure. This network of coiled fiber-like structure, it looks beaded structure, just like you have beads in a necklace. So those are called the chromatin fibers or chromatin network. So this is the overall structure of a typical nucleus. Now those cells which have such a well-defined membrane-bound nucleus, those cells are called eukaryotic cells. Eu means modern and karyotic comes from the word karyon, K-A-R-Y-O-N. Karyon means nucleus. So modern nucleus, well-defined membrane-bound nucleus is called, those cells which have that, they are called the eukaryotic cell. Now we come to certain cells which do not have such membrane-bound nucleus. Suppose there is a bacteria. Inside the bacteria, you will not find a membrane-bound nucleus. Rather, this chromatin fiber, what you can see here, similarly, the genetic material in such cells, they lie open. There is no membrane surrounding it. So it is a kind of circular genetic material, and this circular genetic material is called nucleoid. So such cells are called prokaryotic cells. Pro means primitive, karyotic means karyon, nucleus. So primitive nucleus. So in those cells, you will find such cells in case of bacteria, cyanobacteria, mycoplasma, all the cells which comes under kingdom Monera. You will be getting the classification. So all the organisms under kingdom Monera, they have these prokaryotic cells. Now we come to certain definitions. So I told you that coiled thread-like structure, this is called chromatin network. But you must have heard that there is something called chromosome. So what is chromosome? So if we try to understand this, chromosomes are rod-like structures which are formed by extensive coiling of chromatin fibers during cell division. So let's take this example. You have seen a ball of cotton wool. So a ball of wool or cotton, it looks like this. So this is basically how a chromosome looks like. So if you look at a ball of wool, that is a representative of chromosome. So suppose like this. So it is a highly coiled nature of chromatin fiber. Now if you start uncoiling it, this is the chromatin fiber. So what is chromosome? Chromosome is nothing but highly coiled state of chromatin fiber. So this chromatin fiber, it has these bead-like structures. Now what are these bead-like structure? If you magnify them, you will find that they have centrally located spherical structure. These are made up of some protein units. These proteins are called histone proteins. So these centrally located spherical structures are called histone proteins. And what is this thread made up of? This thread is nothing but DNA. deoxyribonucleic acid. So this DNA, it is the longest biomolecule of your body, but it needs to be packed inside a very small nucleus, so it needs to be highly coiled. So it will coil around what? It will coil around the histone proteins. So it is coiled like this. So it is coiled. So if you open up this thread-like structure, if you enlarge it, you will find that it is nothing but the DNA. It is a double coiled molecule. So the full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. This is our genetic material. If someone asks you what is our genetic material, your answer should be DNA. Now, hereditary material, that means how we look like, what will be our features like, everything, all the information is stored in this DNA. In some organisms, especially viruses, in some viruses, not all viruses, you'll find RNA as the genetic material. RNA is ribonucleic acid. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, RNA is ribonucleic acid. In all living organisms, we have DNA as the genetic material, right from bacteria up to blue whales. But in case of viruses, some viruses have DNA as the genetic material, some viruses have RNA as their genetic material. You must have come across or heard another term which is called gene. So what do you mean by gene? So gene is basically a segment of DNA which controls a particular character. Suppose the color of your eye, whether the color of your eye is brown or it is green, that will be, or blue, it is due to pigments. So who will control that character? Suppose this part of the DNA, it controls your eye color. So we call this part as the gene for eye color. Similarly, suppose this part of the DNA, it is controlling your height. So we'll call it the gene for height. So that is the concept of gene. Gene is the segment or portion of DNA which controls different characters of our body. So based on the structure of nucleus, we have prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cells. Quickly, let us have a look at the differences. So prokaryotic cells, they do not have a well-defined nucleus, membrane-bound well-defined nucleus. Eukaryotic cells, they have a well-defined membrane-bound nucleus. Prokaryotic cells, they will not have membrane-bound cell organelles. Some structures are present, but they are not membrane-bound, whereas eukaryotic cells, they have very definite membrane-bound cell organelles, like they have vacuoles, they have endoplasmic reticulum, like that. Prokaryotic cells are smaller in size. Cell size are measured in microns, so they are generally 1 to between 100 microns you might find. Eukaryotic cells are larger in size, comparatively larger than prokaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells, they are primitive in evolution. They have evolved much earlier on this planet Earth, and eukaryotic cells are modern in evolution. So these are the basic differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. So there's the overall concept of nucleus, and based on nucleus, how we can separate the cells as prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell.